Hello, ladies.
Good morning, ladies. How
Good
are we
morning.
today?
I'm fantastic. How's everybody? How's it going?
I don't know. I came on the video and Nikki didn't look like she was doing well, and then Kira didn't look like she was doing well. So,
I
Nikki
was just
might be my
scattered.
mishap.
so
I
I'm
was just getting myself
I'm
together.
sitting here grinning.
I'm fantastic.
I am here.
She
We're
caught me taking a sip of my drink is what happened.
Okay, Kira, we'll
That's
go with
okay.
that story.
That's okay.
All
All
right.
right. All right. So why don't we get down to today's question first? Let's do the roll and see if I can actually say it correct
You
again.
got this.
All right. We are Women Talk Fears. We are three women, three stages of life, motherhood, business, a roller coaster of laughs, lessons, and a lot of opinions that just might turn into a true crime podcast. So I'm actually voting for both of you today. I'm just kind of like over here to
Me?
the
Oh, no,
side.
I'm good,
I'm
honey.
just like crossing my hands, waiting to see what happens.
It
Anyway,
will be me. It
see,
will be me.
okay, we have someone
I
volunteering.
think it'll
All
be
right.
Nikki. I think it'll be Nikki.
It'll
Oh,
be me.
jeez. Okay. Well, the question today is the loud launch. So, what that means is, what was the wildest I am doing this, even if it kills me move you made when you first started your business or made a major life pivot? Mm.
Mm,
All right. I'm
mm.
just gonna let one of you volunteer because I'm afraid if I pick one of you, the other one's gonna kill me. So I'm just gonna like kind of roll with today.
I've got this, okay? Because I quit my 9 to 5. I just, it was hard because I actually really enjoyed my job. I loved being with the kids. I liked what I was doing. I did
Did?
not enjoy administration. And I think, for me, it was something shifted in COVID and all of that. And it just felt like we were so underappreciated that I was miserable and I would come home and I felt angry. I was so angry and I felt like I wasn't giving back to my own family. I was giving so much to all of these kids,
All right.
but I wasn't giving back to my own
Totally get
family.
that. Totally.
Yeah. And so I made the decision. We were going back in August. I made the decision at the end of July. I just couldn't do it. And so I called. I had started dabbling in my business, but I wasn't completely set. I wasn't making money.
Right.
And I just called. I was like, "Hey, I'm not coming back." And it was like, I just quit. Like,
It's like, did I just say that? Wait a minute. Let me
yeah, it
think
was
about it
just
for a
like,
minute.
did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? And it actually turned out to be such a blessing. So hard launch, man. It was a hard
Yeah,
launch.
that I would have to say that is a hard launch. Did you
Yeah.
have a business at all? Or was it
Yeah,
just
so I was
for
in talks. The way that my business actually started was kind of interesting because I knew I wanted to leave, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And this real estate agent came up on my Facebook feed and he was looking for an assistant. And I was like, oh, interesting. We had just bought our house. So I called my real estate agent. I said to her, hey, what do you know about this guy? And she was like, come work for me.
Oh,
So I had started doing stuff for her, but at that time she said, you can do this for other people too. And I was like, I can. And so I didn't even know what a VA was. I had no clue. So I went down the rabbit hole and then Kira's Modern Desk came to be.
wow. I love the
Yeah.
story. Love it,
Yeah.
love it, love
That's
it.
similar to mine as well because I quit my 9 to 5 when Sawyer was born.
Hmm.
And I just went to my husband. I was like, you know what? They're not even going to honor my 6 week maternity leave. They want me to take like 2 weeks off
Oh
completely, but
my.
still work remote the
Yeah.
rest of the time. So I just told him, I was like, I'm done. We're just going to have to make it work.
You hard launched right out.
Yeah, good for
Yeah.
you.
So
Yeah.
I started with my first client as an executive assistant the month before he was born.
Wow.
Wow. So do you
Brave
feel
move.
like that was like your launch into business? Like, do you feel like that was your your biggest decision?
Yeah, I think so. Because that was like that was such a huge decision of just like, okay,
Well,
I'm
it kind
doing
of
it.
also sets you up on the path of All right, so now I'm at the crossroads of motherhood and business. I'm gonna have to take the squiggly road, the left or the right.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
squiggly, I'm like talking down the mountain, up the mountain, sideways to up the mountain, steep down the mountain. I mean, any which way you can go when it comes to business.
That's 100% right. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was scary, and it was like you, Kira, like, oh my gosh, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life? And then, but in the back of my head, I always knew, like, no, like you need to be with your babies. You need
Isn't
to
it funny how
because
like that inner voice just kind of like gives you some peace? Like I have those
yeah,
voices that are like one moment you're like, yeah, this is it. And then the rest of
yeah,
if I feel it in my gut, tells me something's not right.
yeah,
yeah,
same, same. And I don't know. I mean, for me, it was like I knew it was time to move on, but I really battled with that decision because I felt like, you never know that stepping into that unknown. But
Oh,
they do say that when you are doing something and you're fearful, that's when the biggest change is going to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And
But
I,
there's a difference
yeah,
between fearful and feeling it in your gut. Like
yeah,
I'm
oh yeah,
okay
yeah,
with
yeah,
feeling, but if I
yeah.
feel it in my
That's a
gut and the gut
huge.
tossing and turning, I'm like, yeah, something because I have tried to convince myself of things and my gut's still going, but
no, no, uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Me too. And I think I've been there, especially in business when I'm like on a path and for example, I'm working with somebody that I know maybe is not aligned, right? Like
oh
you can
no.
get them in the door and it's like all of a sudden, no. And you're going, uh-oh, I made a boo-boo because it's like
Oh, no.
you bump into that and it's almost immediate, you know it. It's
Yeah,
almost immediate,
yeah,
you know it.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
you
I get
just
it.
try to push
I
through.
get it.
And yeah, so
Totally.
I get you, Tammy. I've been
Totally.
there. Yeah.
Well, I think well, I would say this would be a little bit of a lie. I was gonna say I've never done a 9 to 5. I have when I was younger, a long time ago. So I worked a 9 to 5 a long time ago, but not very long. So I have to say, over the last 25 years, I haven't worked a 9 to 5. So
Good for you.
for me, I know, but it was grinding and it was out there and grinding, and with no kids, you could.
And
You
yeah.
could grind for
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, and I was 24/7. I don't even think I took days off. Like, I'd sneak out to party at night. But anyways, that's another story. No. But I probably would say my kind of trademark thing that I'm pretty much known for is pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
when people tell me this will never work or you can't do that, I dig in and I'm like,
Gonna show you.
I remember fighting against, I think I've mentioned it a couple times, giants. And everybody's like, what are you doing? Why? I'm like, no, I fought for this.
Yeah.
I fought for this 10 years. No.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I have dug in when the cost was extremely high. And I knew it was extremely high. And 90% of the time I won.
I think
10%.
that's admirable.
I don't know if it's admirable or just straight up crazy, but I was not going to let this world take
feel about
the dreams that and it's not it, I had spent years creating these, brands and both of you know about the brands, and I just still to this day can't let them go.
I know. But
I just can't.
but they're good and you've got amazing
Mhm.
ideas, Tammy. That's the thing is like you actually are doing things that are out of the box and they're extraordinary things. I mean, they're things that people need, but
They
you
are,
would
but
never
as you know,
you would
let's
never
be
know.
honest, as you guys know that I'm starting this, what, 3 or 4 business at the same time. It's a process. I've been very clear about, listen, I know this, and this may not make money for a while. So
Yeah.
I have chose 3 businesses that
Are
are not
long
going to
games.
make money for a while. And
They're
I
long games. Yeah.
know that I have, and they are all passion projects. And why? Because I'm at the stage of the game where this is my last risk. In
Yeah.
other words, I'm going to do this and this is going to carry me into my 70s, or I'm going to do this and this is going to be it because I want to change parent athlete relationships. I want the woman who's underestimated and just thrown out the door to know, fuck that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's a ton of women there to support you. So those are my passions, is to elevate
That's
those
what I
women
mean.
who have been broken, who don't think they have any future, who don't know they can do this, because of course that's where I was.
But see, and that's exactly what I mean though, Tammy, is when I say you are doing these amazing things because I think when we first started working with you, we were under the impression that like Wicked was for like tattoo artists, like
Yeah,
rebel
yeah,
women,
yeah.
not necessarily women who were undervalued, women who, are have all the odds working against them. And as I learned more about this, I'm like, yeah, a lot of women need this, present company included, because I am
Right.
somebody who feels like all the odds work
We're
against me.
against you. And if
Yeah.
I'm the only person,
Same.
I have to tell you, my closing this, I had mentioned my closing, and it was 3 hours, and it was literally the craziest thing I've ever seen. But anyways, here's how life snaps back at you. So she's sitting, I mean, 3 hours. So we're having small little discussions, and
Yeah.
came up about if you're packing or if you're doing. I'm like, well, it was kind of, kind of consolidating, kind of shrinking. I said, I have this, this, and this. And she's like,
Yeah.
whoa, hold up. You were that person who had that in that business? I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, and I've heard this several times. I am devastated that that closed.
Yeah.
And they just go on and talk about it. And it just makes me feel like I did make change. And
You
that
made
was
a
my whole
difference.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's
So
the
if you
point, right?
that's taking that tangible and turning into the online word with the same
Hmm.
effect, with the
Yeah.
exact same effect. That's my only goal. Money will come because it's the passion behind what we're doing to change lives.
Yeah.
It
That's what I keep
will.
telling myself too. Money will come.
It will. I'm not, like I said,
Me too.
yeah, I'm fully aware what I went into.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd like it to come a little bit sooner. I mean, any time now, but
Anytime now. We're just like, I feel this.
but it cracks me up how people are like, oh yeah, I'm going into this business, I'm going to make millions. I went into the business knowing it would struggle. All of these, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
passion we know peak play is a passion from what literally happened to my son that was in the national spotlight, and Wicked because it changed so many lives for women. So those are passions I'm just not going to let go.
Yeah, and no matter what, I mean, it doesn't matter what business you're in, you are going to see an ebb and flow. There are going to be times when businesses peak and
Right.
then all of a sudden they can bottom out. I mean, just
Oh,
like that. So,
100%. But I'm not
it's
lying to anybody. I'm not
yeah,
going in there and saying I'm making millions, because I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
as long as
you
you're
know,
happy with what you're doing and you
I'm
feel good
happy
about
and
them.
I know it's building, and every day I build more and more and more and more, as we know, because
Ooh, I
constant
like to
emails
talk about
going back
building.
and
I'm gonna
Me
I'm gonna
too.
drop I'm gonna drop a little bit of an Easter egg here that
forth. Ooh.
we have a new site coming that's almost done. So I
Oh.
cannot wait for us to be able to reveal it to everybody.
Duh, 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 duh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kara is the gatekeeper. Ooh. So yeah,
So
and that's why you guys have been so pivotal on this online world, because
yeah.
even knowing zip about it, my stuff was always behind the scenes, create, go, push, make it flow. And then when I knew about a year and a half ago, I'm going to have to learn this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to get help because I don't know it.
Yeah.
So those
Right.
were really thought out steps that I knew I was going to need. And I'm getting better every day at this
Yeah.
online world, but it's still a learning process. And it's one I find I'm embracing. And
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, it's got, it brought you guys into my world, and it's brought other
Mhm.
great people in my world. So
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty much loving it. Now
Yeah, I
it's
love
just
it too.
money
Yeah.
to follow behind it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same.
But coming up with lies, or people telling you that, well, I started this business in 1 week, I'm going to make, I'm making $1 million, and not making that money and going around pretending. I hate to tell you, everybody's going to find out one way or the
It
other.
kills
That's right.
me.
It
I,
drives me insane.
You
especially
see
for
it right on Instagram.
VAs. Because you guys, when somebody says they make a lot of money, and when you get into what you're doing, and you're like, what is she talking about?
I mean,
no money here.
seriously, I was actually talking to a girl yesterday. She came to me. She I had interviewed with her at one point, and she's really looking for just strategy. She needs a strategic partner. And she hired a different girl, and she came back and she said, it's not working. And I was like, okay, well, what's, not working? And she was like, well, all of this stuff. And so she asked me about my pricing. And I said, to be honest with you, I said, I'm pretty fair in my pricing. I said, like to start my packages at $1,200. I said, but I said that it equates about $45 an hour, where most project managers, COOs are $60 an hour, because I want to give you a solid 3 months for us to get to know each other, because it might not work for me, but it might not work for you,
Right.
you
Good
know?
point. Yeah,
Yeah. So I want to be
100%.
fair. I want to have a trial
Yeah.
period. And
Yeah.
she was like, really? Because she's charging me, it was like $65. And I'm going,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Because yeah,
exactly what
you
it is.
can make money, but when you aren't being fair in your practices,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
you are
Um,
going to lose people. So yeah,
100%.
you can make a ton of money,
And your
but what's going to
reputation will
happen is it's going
precede
to
you.
bottom out, and it's going to bottom out.
Exactly. So
So
that's
That's
why I
fair
say,
right.
practices.
let's be honest. People are going to figure it out one way or the other, and that's
Exactly.
going to look worse. So just up front,
Especially if you
tell them.
put a front that you're like, oh, I'm an expert at this and I'm an
Yeah.
expert at that. And then when they actually hire you and you get in there and you have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Hey, you're paying
Exactly.
a lot of money for somebody that faked it, basically.
Right. Well, that's
That's
why
And
what she
then,
said.
when I got in this online world, I'm like,
yep.
girls, I don't have a crap. I don't have an idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I
Do
know
I
I
know
see
my
people all
own
the
business?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really different from this. Business wise, on the back end, it's still very similar as far as strategy and plan. But because it's an online world, there is a big element that if you don't have a VA or someone kind of helping you who's been in kind of like where I am, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
So all the
It
all
is.
the experience you have may not necessarily help you here if you ain't been doing it, or if you don't know somebody who can help you, or you don't have, some type of training for it.
Yeah.
It is, you need
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, like on the other foot, these people, right, who are talking the big money, the big bucks, it's not just all about the money. We have to actually care. Like you have the passion projects. Do you care about what you're doing? Do you like what you're doing? And are you an expert in what you're doing? Because that's where
Exactly.
people are going to
Amen.
see you.
Amen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I often wonder, and you guys probably know this more than I do, because I'm a little different about how I take clients. Mine are really just kind of referrals, or
Hmm.
if somebody that I know is going to be a good fit, because I'm in a different boat at this stage of the game. Sorry. No.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we're fit, and let's make sure I can help you, and then we'll roll.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not just taking everybody who just, contacts me on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it may be. So it's a little bit of a different boat, which I'm grateful for, but I put in the time, I put in the energy, I put in the work.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a vibe check.
I really want to
Me
know.
too.
So
Me too.
for you guys probably know better since my world is smaller. Um, what happened? Like, do you have clients who say, "Oh yes, I bring, I bring in, $12,000 a week, and have you ever had people like that? And tell me, was it real?
No. So I do know plenty of people like that, and they can say it, but what they're not saying is they are not bringing in $12,000 in revenue. They are bringing in $12,000 in promised sales,
Ah,
not always in revenue, and it's definitely not at the same time. So they might have, talked to somebody and proposed. They might have proposals out for $12,000, but those
gotcha.
people haven't signed their
Okay.
contracts.
Yeah, I've always been curious.
So there is, although I will say, I mean, I did have a client who he makes $12,000 per contract. So, for him, he's
Yeah.
making big bucks, but in this kind of work, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I get it.
you got
And I
to
don't
make some
promise
passive
that for any
income.
I don't promise any
Yeah.
that for anybody. I promise
Yeah.
you I will share my expertise and we will grow something together. What
Yes.
you do with it, I had somebody, oh my, I actually did a whole post on it. I had somebody the other day and I was like, You got to be kidding me." So I had taken this person as a favor. And it was just kind of banter back and forth, like kind of like we're talking now. And he was terrified to go in business, terrified of failing. He wanted to, but he was terrified. So finally, me, I said, "Yeah, maybe not. Maybe this isn't for you." I said, honestly, if you're going to live every day in fear, we can work on your mindset. And I love working on mindset. It's one of my favorite things to do. But if you're not willing to do that and you're not willing to shift kind of how you see going into business, you're right. I think you're right. You're having a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think you're right. You shouldn't go into business. And he just sat there and looked at me. He's like,
Because
well,
it
that's
doesn't
because
line up
you never
well.
dealt with it before. I'm like, hold up. Who has dealt with it
What?
before? I'm like, I have failed more than I have succeeded. I'm like,
Right.
I said, and every
I'm
lesson
sorry, what
was
did you
from
say?
failure. My lessons were from failure. They weren't from success, but you
Yeah.
can't be terrified of failure when it's inevitable. At some point, you will, I'm not saying your whole business, but at some point, it is, let me say this one more time for everybody who cannot hear me. It is inevitable and it
Yes.
is a teacher. Take the lesson. If you run scared, you're right. You shouldn't be in business.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If you have not failed, then you're not putting in the work.
Yeah, or you're not,
Exactly.
you're not
I
out
have
there.
failed
You're
more
not
than I
putting
have
yourself out there.
succeeded. That's
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying. And it's okay. It's
In my 3 years of
And I can
business.
tell you, you can put a product out there and it fail and then put it out there again and it
and it
thrive.
succeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
you got to put
just
the fear aside.
yeah. So just be honest. So I've literally said, let's put a halt on it. You're wasting your time right now. So
Do
why
it
don't you
scared. Do
reconsider?
it scared.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, we can work on your mindset. It's not a problem. It may take a little longer,
Yeah.
but do a side hustle. We've all been there. Keep your side
Yeah.
hustle. Keep your side hustle and let's do this. There's ways around things. So, but yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like, you're right.
Seriously.
You shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. But sitting there telling me I've never experienced, or what was the words? Oh, I didn't face the same demons.
I mean, we all got demons
No,
somewhere.
no, maybe not the same ones, but I got my own. So
So anyways,
Yeah.
you're
everybody
mistaken.
knows.
Crazy.
So there is the wonderful insight from all of us today. What was the last one? We do have a little bit of a bonus. So, did it kill you or crown you? Do you feel like it killed you or crowned you?
Around me.
Crowned me.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I feel like I know more about myself now than I ever have.
Oh, good insight, Nikki.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think it crowned me, and I think it's because I have definitely strengthened as a mom, as a
Yeah.
partner, as a
Yeah.
woman. I mean, just overall, it has really made me a stronger person and it has made me a more resilient person.
Yes.
I am not as people pleasing as I was, which thank
Ah,
God for that.
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and so I think I've met so many people. I've made so many connections that I can never hate it. There are times where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did I make a mistake? I cannot believe this is happening." But even still, in hard times, I am making more than I ever did in Catholic education.
Mhm.
See? Bam.
So, definitely wearing my crown.
Yay. I would say mine did a little bit of both, but what it ended up doing at the very end was define me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am known as the person who really is kind of fearless into putting my foot into things that may not be the norm.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And
I
that
love
does
that.
have a little bit of a spin on it as far as being maybe a little wicked, maybe a little
Yeah, and I like that you said fearless, Tammy, and I think that's a
Hey.
great word to define it because I know that my kids look at me and they go, because I'll never forget Kyla's sweet 16. She did we did a candle lighting ceremony thing, and every person that came up, she said something about them. So we did 16 candles, and some of them were family, some of them were friends.
Oh, love
And when
it.
she talked about me, she was like, my mom started her own business and she's done this incredible thing. And I know my kids, my parents,
Yeah.
my husband, they're all so super proud of that.
Yeah.
And it feels good that I did
Hey.
create this thing.
Hey. Yeah, my kids have said some nice. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice. It is nice that they
Mine
notice.
might see it one day.
they will.
Don't worry, they will. They
They'll
will.
see it.
And sometimes they will become your little mini me's, and you're like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't need to work 24 hours a day. That's your crazy mama.
Yeah. Right.
But anyways, well,
I
this
love it.
was fun. I like
It
that
was fun.
question.
I like it
That
too.
was fun.
That
It's a
was
good one.
fun.
I
Well,
like it.
lovely ladies, this was fabulous. I can't wait for the next one. Oh, funny story. So I got my hair done. I have to add this. So I got my hair done yesterday. She's like, "What happened to your bangs? Did you burn them?" I'm like, "No, I caught my face on fire when I lit the grill."
You did
I'll
what?
never forget that. Never forget it.
I have
He's
missed
like,
something.
he's
You
like,
don't remember?
"Can you dig up the video?"
What?
You
Amy,
don't remember Tammy setting her face on fire?
what?
The grill. Have you ever seen Christmas Vacation where the whole tree goes up? So I've lit this grill a bazillion times. So I put it in, light it, and also it was like, whoosh, Rich. My husband runs outside. He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "Well, your hair's on fire." So a little shorter than normal, but that's all
I
right.
will never forget it because it was right before we were going to have a check-in call, and we get on, and Tammy looks like she's like patting her face. Like, does she have eyebrows? Like, I think I burned off my eyelashes. Like,
Oh Lordy. Well, that's
so funny.
how we're gonna end
Did
this.
that today. Thank you. That
All
was
right, well, let's see if we can say this again without messing this thing up. We are Women Talk Fears, 3 women, 3 stages of life, motherhood and business, a roller coaster of laughs, lessons, and of course, loud opinions. And it
Sometimes a fire.
turn into a true crime podcast. Woo, I got it. Look at that.
Arson to
time.
be arson to be exact. Okay, bye guys.
It's fine.